Oh no, anxiety creeps up on me. Is this how it's supposed to feel? Tell me when it's over, I got someplace that I gotta be. It won't leave. My friends say, get out of your comfort zone, it's a blessing in disguise. Get out of what you call home, your name is written in the sky. It might feel just like you're on your own, but baby, it's another lie. Remember you were made. I try to work, but it doesn't work. I try to say something, but there's no word. I try to justify my actions, less reactions, heart beat raising. Oh, it doesn't work.
That's a snake.
Get it, get it.
Go, Candy, run out in the garage and get that hoe. Hurry.
Why do we have snakes? I can't live here anymore.
It wasn't very big.
No, it wasn't big. That means it's got brothers and sisters and grannies and papaws and everything down there. Didn't you hear me screaming? I can't believe you didn't. Okay, well don't go outside. Snakes are crawling. Oh, you know how scared I am of those things.
It don't mean another one popped up in its place.
Oh, then that's two.
God, I'm an idiot.
If they had a snake problem, would they have to disclose that to us? I mean, they didn't tell us the cabinets.
You're gonna take him out, ain't you, to paint him?
She can't. It strips so bad. Smart.
It's real smart, Heather.
Look.
Feel like I was falling through the air. No one but myself to hold my hand. Standing in the shadows of where we have been. Sleeping with your back facing me. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer, let's fall in love. Oh, I can feel my body move to every move you make.
Hello friends, and welcome back. As you guys know, I've been talking for a while about painting these kitchen cabinets, and we were going to do this over spring break. So while everybody's on vacation with their toes in the sand, we are knee deep into cabinet paint. So that's been fun. I'm just kidding. It's not been fun. It's been terrible, and I hope I never have to paint another kitchen cabinet again. Ever, or anything for that matter, but it looks so good and I'm so pleased with how they turned out. It was a lot of work. These cabinets were in terrible shape. We didn't want to paint these cabinets just so they would be pretty, to have a pretty kitchen, or so we could spend money and have a nice kitchen and have pretty cabinets. That's not why we did this. We did this because these kitchen cabinets, you will see in a minute, were in terrible shape. The paint was on them so thick that it wasn't even dry. So they were sticky, they were terrible, they were scratched up, and they were scratched because the paint was still wet. So we got all of that taken care of, and they look so much better, but you're fixing to see all the stuff we went through to get these cabinets in better shape. So stick around and see how we did all this.
Dancing is one. Cause we're dancing as one. Cause we're dancing as one. Cause we're dancing as one. You and me are moving. Make sure we get through this. Let's just keep on dancing as one. You and me are moving. Make sure we get through this. Let's just keep on.
So I believe this was on Friday. I started taking the doors off of the cabinets just to kind of get a head start for everybody. We had talked Alden into taking a few days off work, so he took a few vacation days off. He took Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to help us, so that was nice, and we couldn't have done it without him. It definitely would have been a lot of work for one person. So if you're thinking about doing this, ask for help. That's my first advice. I'm bad to cook up all these ideas in my head of I want this done or that done, and then when it comes down to it, I feel so overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start, don't know how I'm going to get it done. But luckily, I have a great support system. I have people to jump in there and help me and get it all done. You all seen the snack basket. I ended up giving that to Lexi. There just was not room in this kitchen for it. It was a great idea. It was a good concept. When I seen it at Sam's Club, I got it because I thought it would help us with things sitting around, you know, just to put all the snacks in and things like that. But when I got it home, it was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I ended up just giving that away. There's no sense in hanging on to it and it being in the way when somebody else can use it, and I'm not going to. It was also a good time for me to go through these cabinets and declutter a little bit and get rid of some things that were just old or we wasn't using. So I got all these doors off and took them to the garage, and we needed sawhorses, but I couldn't find any of those. So I was going to use my mom's walker, you know, imagination, but ended up using, you know, just the garage floor or the stool or whatever I could find. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a video on how to do your cabinets, this is probably not the one to watch. I probably wouldn't do a whole lot of what we did, but it worked for us. So yeah, that was the main thing. We had bought a sander, and you see I have Flash's help. You know, that was another thing that made me feel so overwhelmed, was just looking around at all the cats and then the dog, and I was like, how am I even going to do this? But we did it. We got it done. You know, where there's a will, there's a way, and you just do it. So, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed with something like that, just do it. That's, you know, it's not going to get done if you don't. So just do it.
Right when we dance and we fall and we don't care at all. Now we just sing the la 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 la. La 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 la
When I took these doors off of the cabinet, the screws that were holding them on, they were so like stripped out. They had the wood so stripped out that they were loose. Some of them even had wall anchors in the cabinet holding like for the screws to screw into, if that makes sense. Did any of that make sense? Okay, so when I went to take the screws out, they were in anchors, and it was crazy. It was just like, it blew my mind how these cabinets were painted for one and even hanging for two. But I did decide to keep the hinges on because when they painted these cabinets, they didn't take them off, and the paint was so thick on them, and they didn't even line up. I mean, it was crazy. It was just the biggest mess I've ever seen in my life. So I didn't take the hinges off. I just painted right over those again because I was afraid if I took those off, I would never get them back on to stay. I did take the hardware off, but yeah, as far as the hinges, I left those on. And when I started sanding on these, some of them just needed to be sanded and scuffed up a little bit just to get the, you know, the finish off so that the paint would stick to the cabinets. But then you'll see in a few minutes that some of them were so wet and the paint was so thick that it would bog down my sander. Like the sander would stop. It would just be stuck to the cabinet. There were paint runs on these cabinet doors, and when you would pull the paint bubble off, it was still wet paint underneath. You could dab it on your finger. I'm not even kidding. It was the biggest mess I've ever seen. It was just, I can't believe somebody would take cabinets and paint them. I mean, this is a nice house in like my standard of nice. I mean, it's a nice house. We paid a lot of money for this house, and to take cabinets and that were, I'm thinking they were wooden finish, and then they primed them and painted them, or either they painted them white and then painted them gray. So I don't really understand why you would paint these cabinets the way they did and think that's okay, because it's a nice house. Why would you not do it right, or at least better than that? You can clearly see paint's running. You can clearly see that the paint's not dry. I don't understand why you wouldn't take it off and fix it, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, that's the one thing I would change if I was going to buy this house or another house, I will definitely look at the kitchen cabinets. We walked through this house and I was like, okay, the cabinets are gray. That's nice, from a distance, they're okay. We did notice that they were not in good shape when we started moving in and putting things into the cabinets, when we started opening the doors, because we, maybe opened a door or two, but we didn't go through and open all the doors and see that the hinges were loose and all of that. And obviously that's something they don't check for in a home inspection, I'm assuming, because it would have never passed. But, we're fixing it. That's the main thing. We're fixing it. And I'm not knocking anything that the previous owners did. There have been several people that have owned this house before us. So, don't know who did it. Don't know the rhyme or reason to why they did it. But, we got it fixed, and that's all that matters. I'm so glad we decided to do this ourselves, though, because I can't even imagine what somebody would have charged us to have came in and sanded these cabinets and painted them. So we definitely saved ourselves a lot of labor by doing it ourselves.
Like the waves pull you down underwater. We're fun until we hit the bottom. And we do it all again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. We're falling down, we faded. But I know that we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. I know we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, yeah, we can work it out. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Even if we...
Hey, look, say hello.
Oh, look gross.
Things unsaid, and you cannot forget how my mistakes haunt us, but do they really daunt us?
It didn't take us long to realize that we needed to keep Mr. Toenails out of the kitchen. So we had this baby gate that goes into the hallway because we don't let him in there in the bedrooms or anything because he chews up everything he can get his little teeth on. So I was like, I wonder if we can move this gate up a little to this wall. So we did that, and then you guys know we have this little wooden gate that we keep around the litter box because Mr. Toenail eats cat turds. So we were like, if we stick that gate there behind the couch and, put the trash can in front of it on the other side, maybe it'll keep him out, and it worked. He does think he's a cat. He has been raised with cats, so he does try to jump across the counter there. He'll get on the couch and jump over the back of the counter onto the kitchen counters, or you can see that he's sitting on the arm of the couch just plotting, like thinking, am I going to break a leg if I try to jump this fence? So yeah, but it did keep him out, so that was one less thing we had to worry about.
Oh, I know it is tough. We need to break our patterns. It's better now than after we have drifted off too far. Let's tear down these walls our destiny has called. We're walking down a path, and the wind will change at last, like a song about our past. So I'll just close my eyes and dream about our kids and how they're running around. Won't you come in?
And as you see here, it wasn't just the cabinets that were still wet, it was like on the cabinets that was on the wall. The frame was still wet too. So, at one point I just got a kitchen knife and was peeling paint off that And it was worse, like, I guess above the stove in that area. I don't know if it's from where they weren't completely dry, and then like the moisture and steam from cooking things on the stove just kept them wet. I don't know what it was. And it wasn't just like oil on it that was sticky. It wasn't that at all. It was just a big wet mess. So yeah, we got that done. We went ahead and put the first coat of primer on these cabinets that were hanging on the wall to get that out of the way and kind of give us an idea of what white would look like on top, because at this point we had not bought paint yet and really didn't know what color we were going to paint them. I wanted white. Heather wanted dark gray or black. So you'll see in a little bit that we kind of compromised and we went with both. One of you guys suggested that we do like a darker color on bottom, a lighter color on top, and it just got us to thinking. We were like, maybe a dark gray on bottom, light gray on top, but we weren't sure. So we went on Google and we started looking at different color cabinets, and we seen a lot of pictures of, you know, a darker color on bottom, a lighter color on top. So that's what we decided to go with. When you walk into our living room, all of our walls are brown, and our ceilings, I know if you've watched my videos much, you've noticed that our ceilings are so chopped up, like they're so pretty. You know, they're vaulted, and then the dining room's got this different ceiling, and then the kitchen nook area has a different kind of ceiling, and then we've got all these half walls, and it's just, you know, it would be really hard to divide this house out and paint it, if that makes sense. So anyway, all of our main area is a tan color, like a really light brown. And when you walk in, up top above the kitchen cabinets is the tan color, the same as the living room, but then there's a gray cabinet, which did not go at all. It just did not match. It wasn't even close. So I thought if we have white on top, at least when you walk in the living room and you look at the kitchen from the living room, you see white cabinets with a brown wall above it, which kind of goes. But then as you turn the corner into the kitchen, then the darker cabinets are on bottom and our countertops are gray. So it kind of divided it up to where it looked good when you turn the corner going into the kitchen. It gave it a whole new, you know, color scheme. But looking at the kitchen from the living room, it still kind of went with the brown, if that makes sense.
Those crazy little things we all kind of dream about. A good thing we are running out of sunlight. It's not necessary for these guys to know all about. Look, there's a bruise right here, one or a few on there. Man, did you see me though? 'Cause I sure put on the show. I'm dancing on the tables and I must say I got a taste for flipping out. I'm glancing at the haters and I know they wish they did the shit I did tonight. You wanna break some.
At this point, Heather came in the house and she was saying a whole lot of words that she shouldn't have been. And I just turned the volume down and added some music because it would have been one big beep throughout this whole video. She was like, I'm done. These cabinets are crap. Let's just buy new ones. I mean, she was so frustrated. So I went out to the garage to look at them and I was like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. So anyway, I had been editing a little bit and was trying to stay on top of it because this is days of footage that I, dwindled down to 44 minutes. So I went out there and was helping her and I couldn't believe it. I was like, no wonder she's mad. But yeah, I mean, this was just crazy. And, they're not perfect. We didn't get all of this off. We did get it sanded down to where it was dry and, it looks okay. But these cabinets were, like, if you get up close to them, you can see through the paint that there's places that aren't pretty. There's places that, aren't perfect, and that's okay. Nothing else is perfect in our life, and we'll just go with it. Maybe this is the cabinets we were supposed to have because just like us, they're not perfect, but we did get them looking a lot better. At least they're dry and functional, and yeah. But you see here at what I'm talking about, it was the craziest thing.
Going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will
do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through, get you out of your comfort zone, 'cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day.
Alden's dad painted for a living. That's what he did. So Alden was raised around a bunch of men that painted all the time. So he's very knowledgeable about what kind of paint to use, and he doesn't have to tape anything off, and he just does a really good job painting. He always has. So when we decided to paint these cabinets, I knew that he probably should help us. So we did ask him if he would take a day or two off, and he took 3 off to help us. So that was very nice of him. And I will say we've come a long way, because we could not have done this a year ago. A year ago, this would have been one big screaming match. We would have been ugly to each other. We would have been pointing fingers and all that. But, and then Heather would have been standing there in the middle of us telling us to stop, don't do this to the kids, quit treating each other like this. So we've came a long ways. We actually had a lot of fun, despite there being so much work involved, sanding these cabinets down and doing all that. We did have a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves, and, we had a lot of laughs, and we also had a lot of times that weren't so funny, but we did have a good time doing this. And if you guys are wondering if Heather and I ever fuss, yes, we do. We do fuss. We do get on each other's nerves. But the thing about Heather and I is that we can say whatever we want to say to each other and get it out of our system. And then 2 seconds later, like, what happened? We're fine. Nothing ever happened. But yeah, we do. We fuss and we argue sometimes because we live together. And, that's just what happens when you live together. You're going to have times where you don't agree, or you get on each other's nerves. And, I guess one of my biggest complaints about her, and it's a good complaint, is that she is such a people pleaser that if something goes wrong, she wants to fix it, no matter what it is, for whoever. I know one time we were baking muffins and we burnt them. And so she comes out of the bedroom and she's got her purse and her shoes on. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm going to Food City to get more muffins. And I was like, no. And she's like, yes, I'm going to go get more muffins. These kids want muffins. And I was like, it's okay. We can eat something else. It's fine. But no, she was going to run out the door and get it. And I wouldn't let her. I was like, no, you're not going. You don't have to make everything perfect all the time. It's okay. They'll live. It's fine. So, that's my biggest complaint about her, is that she tries so hard to make everyone else happy that she doesn't care where that leaves her. She's been very good to us. She's my best friend in the whole wide world, and we all love her so much and appreciate everything she does for us. So, but we did all have a good time, and we did have some laughs, but it's nice to sit back and look at the fruits of your labor, because we walked in the kitchen this morning and we were like, I love it. So, it's always nice to see the end result.
Up in here, got that DJ playing music, everybody wants to hear.
I was trying to put some dishes back up in the cabinet and just try to, pick the kitchen up, because we did have to live in here and eat and cook and all that stuff. So I was trying to put things back where they went. So I took some plates over to the cabinet, and there was a coffee cup sitting where the plates go. So I went to move that cup, and it was full of hot coffee, and I didn't know Alden had just sat it there. So yeah, I stuck my fingers in hot coffee. It was nice.
Oh! I thought that was empty.
No, that's what. Burning. No, I was just trying to put it somewhere where they wouldn't knock it over.
Sorry.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing.
So yeah, I was like, Who puts a coffee cup full of hot coffee up in the cabinet where the other cups are sitting? Ding dong. But it was okay. I didn't die. But we were so over it already by this point, and we had only got the top done. And there are a couple of cabinet doors that I need to go back over, like on the back, that need a second coat that I didn't even get to. I was just like, I need to get this video up. You're going to have to go back to work soon. We're just going to have to hurry. So are a couple of spots on the back of these cabinets that I need to go over, but that's okay. You know, I can get to that. I can always open them and put some paint on the back and let them dry. But our little cat had got into the garage because we were going back and forth so much, and he had like cobwebs and dust and stuff all over him. So that's what he had all over him there. At first, when I first seen him, I thought it was paint, and I was like, oh my gosh, Grady, your mama's gonna kill you. But yeah, it was just spider webs, so we were good.
And waiting around, it's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. God, I'm sick of this waiting. You got me going crazy tonight. So why don't you come on over and be my somebody to love? Somebody to love, somebody to love, somebody. I need somebody, I need somebody to love. I need somebody, I need somebody. I need somebody, I need somebody to love. Give me somebody, give me somebody.
Isn't this the good life? Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks. Citrus in our beverages, citrus in our beverages. Show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, you know. Breathing out air for a minute, yeah. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we stay right here, make everything disappear? Lay low in the beach's sun, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't it a me crime to get a little lost in everybody's business? Why don't we all calm down? Why don't we all calm down? I think I'm the wrong size, not enough room for everybody's egos. Why don't we all calm down? Why don't we all calm down? On and on and on.
You're gonna take him out, ain't you, to paint him?
She can't. It strips so bad. Smart.
It's real smart, Heather.
Look. I was about to move that.
What'd you do?
I put my hand on that because I was about to fall. Well, don't fall next time.
It goes round and round the rodeo, breathing out air for a minute.
Kennedy jumped in there and wanted to paint. She wanted to help, and Heather was like, okay. So yeah, and if you know Kennedy, you know that wet paint and a paint roller is not a good combo, but we let her help, so I'll give her an A for effort.
Disappear, keep playing my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on. What if we...
I'm rolling. Roll with the flow, Heather. I need the paintbrush.
Oh God, no. You don't need a paintbrush.
I need the paintbrush.
They see me
Look
rolling.
at that drawer. That is beautiful. That is some great work right there. Can I roll the inside of this with this?
If you say roll one more time.
Sorry, I'm just trying to roll.
Just roll with it, Mom. God bless America.
Well, I forgot there's a sink under here.
You shouldn't be near the sink.
I'm very near the sink.
Oh, okay. Don't get that on nothing.
Tried to be funny. Look where it got you, Heather.
I know.
I need to take my shoes off.
You get me coffee or
Would you rather make my feet stink or get my white shoes black?
wash shoes black?
They're my old ones. They're my painting shoes.
Oh, you got painting shoes?
Oh, yeah.
Right here, make everything disappear. Lay low in the beaching sun, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, put your rose-colored glasses on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good life. Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks. Citrus in our beverages. Citrus in our beverages. Show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering her faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. Hey, would you rather stay right here? Make everything disappear. You play my favorite song. Put your rose-colored glasses on. Why don't we stay right here? Make everything disappear. Lay low in the beaching sun. Put your rose-colored glasses.
So our little wall behind the sink that looks out into the living room is actually painted a light gray. So I'm thinking we've got white cabinets up top. Maybe we need a dark wall behind those white cabinets so those two white cabinets will pop. And Heather was like, okay. And then Alden and my mom were both like, no, don't do it. And then after it was done, they all loved it. They were like, that looks so good. I actually did not think it'd look good. And that's what Heather said too. She was like, oh my gosh, I love it. And it's like, it's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. And I didn't think I would like it. She was like, I was thinking, what is she doing? And that's the thing about Heather. She would have just told me to do it whether she liked it or not. But it did look so good. And I know it's not for everybody. I mean, a black wall sounds crazy, I guess, but it does look so good. And it's not a lot of wall. So it's just enough to make that cabinet and that little white counter, the little ledge there, pop. So, and then you're fixing to see that we had a little guest come over. We had a visitor. Kennedy went to take Flash out and she came running to the front door and was knocking on the door. And I was like, make her dance. Don't unlock it until she dances. And, you know, just being funny. And she's screaming and she's panicked. And we were like, what is wrong? So you're fixing to see now what she was talking about.
Said that I was not enough.
Is it out here?
Yeah, in front of the grass. Yeah. That's a snake.
Oh, God, get it. Get it.
Go, Candy, run out in the garage and get that hoe. Hurry. That's just a worm.
That's not a worm.
She stop in there and talk for a while?
Go get closer.
This one's name's Joe.
You have your phone?
No.
We had a Brad, now we got a Joe. Get it out of here. Ah! Oh, God. Ah! Was a rattlesnake.
I don't know if I can walk down the yard. Y'all probably gonna have to do it.
Oh my God, it's a python. Why do we have snakes? I can't live here anymore. Ooh. I gotta show Mom. We had a visitor.
Had a visitor?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
A snake.
A baby one.
Where at?
On our back, at our back steps.
At your back steps?
Yeah. Didn't you hear me screaming?
Can't believe you didn't.
Oh, a rattlesnake or a python is not.
It was a foot long.
Kennedy stepped over it.
Again.
Yeah, Kennedy stepped over it. She was taking Flash outside She came running around to the front door and the door was locked and we wouldn't let her in. She was like, there's a snake. And then Opie, Alden went to get a hoe and then Opie got it.
The snake?
Yes. I was screaming at him to drop it.
What did you do with it?
He just was playing with it.
How long was it?
Probably about 4 or 5 feet. No, it's about a foot long.
And it was a baby. It squirmed.
It was
It was the baby.
It
wasn't very big.
No, it wasn't big. That means it's got brothers and sisters and grannies and papaws and everything down there. It's in
I
woods.
reckon they're coming from that hole down there.
Yes. I think they're coming from that where it's grew up.
Yeah.
Look, you can try.
So you might need to get down there and clean that out.
Yeah, you come do it for me. Alden, Mom said go clean that out for us. That's why we got a man around. Heather had to carry it to the woods.
Now my door.
Well, the first one we named Brad. This one we named Joe. Opie was just swatting it and playing with it and trying to like get it in his mouth and sling it around.
One of these days you'll bring one and put it on your back porch.
I ain't going back out. Kitty, you act like you all brave. You's the one at the front door screaming.
Well, because when you step over it, it's a little scary.
Okay, well don't go outside. Snakes are crawling.
Yeah, that.
And you can't run, Mom.
But you know, it's still cold in the night.
Mom, you
already out.
might get past 110 degrees if you see a snake.
Sure, I might do it. No, I'd fall right where it was at. So.
That's probably why they sold this house. It's probably like eat up with them.
Well, the whole year and a half is helping.
Yeah, but
Snake
I wouldn't doubt what
infested.
they're coming from that hole down.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Where are you going to the
All
back?
right.
All right.
Bye.
I think it was wanting their pool.
What if we take that cover off and have some?
Oh God.
Y'all won't get in it.
God, I'm an idiot.
Wait,
Get
go
on
outside. He'll kill it.
I know, but then it'll be in his mouth.
And then he can get it out. What? You said I can get it out. Your dog.
Oh, you know how scared I am of those things.
It don't mean another one popped up in its place.
Oh, then that's 2.
And
That's more than we stayed at our old house in 20 years. No, I think they're good, but I mean, I'm no professional.
I mean,
They
angle
had
your
a snake
camera
problem
up.
when they had to disclose that to us. I mean, they didn't tell us the cabinets.
well, define the problem.
We don't sweat the small stuff around here.
You all don't.
It's the snakes. Okay, you have my full permission to freak out over a snake.
Well, you locked me out.
Well, I didn't know you wanted to tell us about a snake.
I was yelling. I said, we got a snake. We got a baby snake.
I said we got a problem.
I said, I do have a problem. I said, we got a snake. Well, see, you think I would have ran from the back to the front? He got loose? I ran. I don't run.
You run around, you ran around.
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are.
I know y'all are probably thinking I was being a little bit dramatic, but you have no idea how afraid I am of a snake. It is my worst fear. This is the second one we've seen. The first time we seen a snake, it was like in the fall, and Kennedy had came in from work one night and she called and she was like, Mom, I'm not saying this to freak you out. And I'm thinking somebody's tried to abduct her or something bad. I was like, what? And she was like, there is a snake at the garage door. And I was like, oh my gosh, like outside, inside? And she was like, I opened the garage door from my car and then I was walking in the garage and there was a snake laying right there where the garage door shuts. She said, I just ran and pushed the garage door button to close the garage and came in, and I was like, well, did the snake go in or out? And she was like, I don't know, I just ran. And I was like, Kennedy, you have to know whether that snake's in this garage or not. So I was scared to death the next day, like to even go in or out this garage. I was petrified. And And I mean, like when you lay down at night, you feel a snake under your covers. Every time something touches you, you're like, it's a snake. I mean, that kind of scared. I was so paranoid, so scared. So Heather was like, it wasn't a snake. It was a shadow or something. It wasn't a snake. And she had went to the grocery store. When she came home that next day and opened her car door, she started to step out of her car and there was a big black snake laying there. So it was a snake, and I kept saying, it's lingering, it's going to be back. And this one was a lot smaller than that one was. So maybe it's, kids, I don't know. But I was scared to death, and I cannot stand to even look at a snake. So yeah, Alden got it up on a hoe, and then Heather, because he's afraid of them too. He'll say he's not, but he is. So Heather got the hoe and went down there and threw it into, there's kind of like a grew up spot, like woods kind of in the back. So she threw it down there so it could be with its little snake family. So it'll be back, I'm sure. And I have not went out of this house since that happened, and I don't plan on it. It just scares me to death. If I had went down there and almost stepped on it, I would have low-key had a heart attack. It would have scared me to death.
Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? Before I'm too invested, you should take.
To be honest, I wasn't so sure how the black wall would look either. But once I started putting these plate covers back on, the white just popped. And I was like, oh man, that's going to look so good. So let me know what you think. We all love it. I think it looks really, really good. And, it's not perfect. There's nothing in this kitchen perfect. It's not a brand new house. And there is wear and tear. And that's okay. It's kind of like us. We're not perfect either. We have imperfections, and you just work on yourself and try to make yourself better, and sand those rough spots off and try to do better. We painted this cabinet the same color as the other cabinets. As far as the wood on top of that cabinet, that random cabinet, let me know what you think I should do, if I should just stain it. I don't know that we can find granite to match. I would love that, but it kind of has the butcher block vibe going on to it, I guess. But just let me know what you think I should do. Let me know if you like this black wall. Let me know if you're scared of snakes too. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that if you're needing to paint your kitchen cabinets, that it gives you some ideas. It gives you some, pointers, some tips and tricks to get it all done. And yeah, let me know how you think it turned out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a blessed week. I'm so glad to be back. It took me a few days to get this done and to get this video up for y'all. And I've missed you guys. So I'll be in the comments waiting to talk to you. Like I always say, remember, if you ever need anything, if you ever need a friend, I'm your friend. If you're lonely, if you feel like nobody else in the world loves you, know that we do. We love you so much. We love reading your comments. But remember, Jesus loves you too. There's no greater love than the love that Jesus has for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine.